All right. Hey, guys. Welcome to the running journey. I'm Rob Tatro, episode 167 for April 30th, 2026. This episode is a pre-race episode for the backyard. The backyard is a race where you keep doing loops until you can't run anymore. My brother, Charlie, on this episode is talking about his prep for the race, which is about to happen. So we talk at length about plan, nutrition, his crew. By the way, the crew is pretty stellar. It's my parents, my cousin Paul, and my sister Tanya, who's a long time friend of the pod, but we've never brought her on. Foreshadowing, maybe we should bring her on. Anyways, pre-race episode, all about Charlie, all about his backyard, which is happening. The BC Backyard Silver Ticket Championship. The winner gets an invite to the Team Canada World Championship Bigs. I think they call it satellite championships. Anyways, Charlie is racing in that. This is a pre-race episode. But I want to talk real quickly about this prediction that I made last week. Those of you that listen to the podcast heard me say it. I said, forget about a great day. All we need is a decent weather day. Someone will break 2 hours in a flat course at a major. I predicted it. I said it's going to happen. Maybe at London. I said something like at Tokyo, Chicago, or London. And guess what? Like 3 days after I made that prediction, boom, Sebastian Sawe breaks 2 hours. First runner ever to do it. We will always remember where we were. I will, when I discovered that he had done it. Sebastian Sawe broke it. And not only that, two people broke it. So he broke it, and Yomif Kechelga broke it. And also a third guy broke the record. So I just think running is so hot. Technology is so fast. Like, they're improving so much. They're learning so much about pushing endurance sports so much that I just think like these things are falling. And I just had a feeling it would happen at London. And sure enough, it did happen. Reminds me of what happened for the 4-minute mile. I wasn't alive, but I've heard my dad talk about it at length. But on August 7th, 1954, so that's 3 months after Roger Bannister first broke the 4-minute mile, 2 guys broke it. And then 3 guys broke it. And then within a year or so, 15 runners had gone on to break the 4-minute mile. It's a concept. I think it's a famous psychological stories in sport. You know, it was like, can someone do it? And then once someone does it, they all do it. I think we're going to see that with the 2-hour marathon. It's kind of crazy that both, like, 2 guys did in the same race. That poor guy who finished second, he's never going to be remembered. Had he done it at any other race, any time before, you know, he would have, my God, he would have been forever known. And now it'll be Sebastian Sawe that's known forever. Anyways, my brother and I will dissect this 2-hour marathon concept in another episode, but we're not doing it in this episode, namely because this was recorded just before Sebastian Sawe broke the record. So we didn't know about the 2-hour marathon when we recorded this. Full transparency, full disclosure. But I couldn't help but talk about it. I couldn't help but do the old humble brag and do the old, hey, I was right. But if my brother were here, he would say, yeah, you make a million predictions and people only remember the ones you're right on. But that's okay. I was right on this one. So he broke 2 hours at the London Marathon. I can't believe like how fast that is. Put the treadmill at 13.1 if ever you want a 4-minute, 34-second mile. Can any of you guys do 1 mile at that speed? You know, I can't. I can't do 1 mile at that speed. I can't do half a mile at that speed. So it's crazy how fast this is. Most of us, I'd say 99% of people can't run like 10 strides at that pace. And only the exclusive fast runners can even do like 100 meters or 200 meters or like 1 lap around the track at that pace. And this guy is doing it for 2 hours. Crazy. We will talk about this further. But for now, this episode all about the backyard, the most daunting thing that I've ever done, the craziest thing that my brother is about to do. How long can you just keep running on no sleep forever? I guess we're about to find out. Episode 167 of the running journey, guys. It's a good one. Before I say enjoy, can I ask you guys to give us a 5-star review? Kindly asking all of you guys who are listening now to please, we're trying to bump up our 5-star reviews. It's a great way to easily grow the pod. The pod has grown a ton in the last while. This would help. Kindly asking you guys to do that. Thank you. We appreciate it. Enjoy this episode, guys. It's a good one. All right, guys, welcome another episode of The Running Journey. I am Rob Tatro, fresh off of my Boston Marathon sub 3, and I am joined by my brother today, Charlie Tatro, and pretty exciting episode. We're talking backyard today. Charlie, how are you feeling about your upcoming race?
I'm feeling super excited. Congrats again for Boston. That was amazing.
I think the statute of limitations is up. I think it's over.
Yeah. Well, I mean, anyways, I haven't been this excited for a race in a while.
So, okay, let's go.
So I'm not in super good shape right now. I can maybe bang out I don't know if I could do a 20-minute 5K. Probably not. But it doesn't matter. So I'm super excited anyways. So
yeah, let's start talking about. Let's start with setting the table here. So, what is the event? Where are you going? Who's coming? Let's talk about that.
So the event is in Sycamus, BC. It's called the BC Backyard Ultra. That's where I found out they're also holding the Canadian Sat Champs, the exact same place.
Which will be in like September, October, or whatever.
October.
Yeah. And what are the Sat Champs? Describe that for the
people. Yeah. So this event is called the BC Backyard Ultra, and it is what they call a silver event or silver ticket event, which means that the winner, the last person standing, earns a silver ticket to the what they call the Bigs Backyard Ultra World Championships or World Team Championships to compete for Canada. So a silver ticket means you get automatic entry into that event, which is in October.
It's basically a qualifier for Team Canada to compete at the World Championships.
Yeah,
it's freaking cool. And I remember because I spent hours and hours and hours researching this years ago because I was going to go win this thing next week, but that's now fallen to the wayside. So you're going to go win this thing this week. So the idea is that, and just, I know everyone knows what a backyard is, but not everyone knows online. So what's a backyard again, real quick?
So a backyard is an ultra where the objective is to be the last person standing. And how it works is everyone needs to start and complete start a yard on the hour. A yard is 4 1/6 miles or 4.167 miles or 6.7 kilometers about. And on the hour, every hour, there's basically a gun or a bell that goes. And if you don't start your loop, if you're not in the corral when that time goes off, so there's a corral in the starting area. If you don't start your loop at that time, you are eliminated. And you go until everyone's been eliminated except for one person. And the winner is the one who completes that last loop. Everyone else is a DNF.
Did not finish. Could you imagine you run like 2 days and you get a did not finish? I'm like, dude, I ran like 200 miles. Yeah, everyone gets
I mean, I feel like it's just kind of this whole DNF thing is kind of a marketing type of thing that makes it seem cooler. But Laz, it's like so I guess what's his name? Laz, the guy who invented this. Laz. His real name is Gary Cantrell, but he's also the guy who did the Barkley Marathons. That's kind of his concept, the whole DNF, and so it's going to be fun. I'm looking forward to it.
Bit of a badge of honor, right? They say, because you're going to tell the story. Yeah, I DNF'd. Oh, you DNF'd? Yeah, I did blah 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 miles.
Yeah,
and yet I didn't finish. We've done one of these. It was a modified one that we did in Utah, and it was a 25-hour race. So the first 24 hours was see who can survive, and the last one, it was an all-out race. You did really well in that one. You finished third out of the 17, I think, that had finished the first day. So there were 170 runners, 17 finished. So 10% of them finished the first day. And me, you, and Simo all finished. And then you finished third in that. You still had some legs. I'm going to get to that later, but I just want to set the tone that you've done one of these before. It's quite like it's something else, running through the night nonstop, like just running and running and running and running. And obviously at the elite level, they're doing like 5 days.
Yeah.
But I mean, this is the Canadian elite level, right? So you're like the winner of this race will compete against Phil Gore. Like you're going to compete against that guy.
Yeah.
So what do you think it's going to take to win this race?
Haven't really thought about that too much. I'm kind of focusing on my own race.
Yeah.
At the same time, but yeah, I have been looking at it. I honestly, so in the past years, the winners have been in the low 40s. But I think because of how important this race is and how people have improved, that it's going to be in the 50s for sure, or 60s even.
The course is, I would argue, one of the easier ones of the six. There are 6 silver ticket items, right? It's the flattest, I think.
It seems like it looks very easy and relatively. I'm not 100% sure how I can trust that elevation chart, but yeah, it seems like it's based on the elevation chart. There's one hill at the beginning, and that's it.
Right. But you're right. The elevation chart could be, because I mean, it is in the mountains, right? It's in BC. It's in those. It's like in the, what are they, the Kootenays or whatever like they're called. So there's going to be something, but I have a feeling. Well, we both think that the contenders, the people that want to qualify for Team Canada, are picking their races, right? They're doing like we did, and they're picking 1 or 2 because they wanted 2 shots at it. It's the first race. No, there was one last week, right? Was there one last week?
It's the first silver ticket of the year.
First silver ticket, and then
there's been a few backyard ultras. So one that I was following was the Fat Dog backyard ultra in BC, and the winner got 50 loops on a tougher course. So that's
one of those things where
that's why I'm saying like it could be higher than 50. It could easily be even 60. It's going to be potentially in the 60s even.
Yeah, and 60s would be, so it starts at 8 a.m. correct?
It starts at 8 a.m. Yep, on the Friday, and I hope to go for a while from there.
So it starts on a Friday, okay, and the 8 a.m. 2 days out, so 48 hours out, puts you back at 8 a.m. on the Sunday.
On Sunday, yeah.
But I guess day loops are, according to the videos and the podcast that I've seen, most people kind of quit in the night loops, is what I gather, right? So if you kind of make it through that 48, in theory, hopefully you're able to survive another 10 or 12 hours, which would get you to 60. Is that kind of your thinking?
Yeah. I mean, I don't know what other people will do, but I'm just going to keep running until I either can't complete a loop physically, but I'm going to try, or I'm the last one standing. That's my plan. Like I'm not even like, that's why I think I'm just pulling numbers out of my, I have no clue what other people will do. I know that I'm just going to keep going forever. So
yeah. And you don't really know what you can do either. Like it's
no,
like,
I have no clue because I've never done this long.
This is really pulling a number out of your rear, because it's not like a marathon where you got a pretty good idea, or you've done a half, then you go try a marathon. You can kind of guess. This is really uncharted water.
Yeah, and I've been listening to a lot of the Backyard Ultra podcast, and that's why I haven't been keeping up with the Coffins and some of the other podcasts that I normally listen to. Because I've been just listening
dialed in on ultras on
and I hear guys that are way better runners than me on paper struggling to get to 40 and struggling to get to 30. So for some reason I think I still have a lot of confidence, but it could go anyway. It's on paper I don't know which number makes sense. I know that I had a lot left in me after 24 in Utah, slightly slower pace, but I did 102 miles in 24 hours and 40 minutes. So it's pretty close to the same pace.
Yep.
I know I had lots in me. I know I have a way better plan. I have a way better crew this time.
Oh, a dig to Sil and
no. No. My crew is it's basically
they're more experienced.
It's basically the same crew, except I've got 2 additional people, and I've spent quite a bit more time planning this and providing them with information, and so
But even just mom and dad, they'll have been through it already.
yeah, exactly. So like yeah, my crew is going to be phenomenal. So I think the sky's the limit. I don't want to put a number on it, but like I'm just going to keep running.
Okay,
for as
we'll
long
get
as
to
I can.
that. We'll get to the number in a sec.
Yeah.
But you talk about your crew. I know we talked about it a couple weeks back, 2-3 weeks back on the episode, but let's go through it again. You're bringing mom, dad, Claude, and Annette.
Yeah, so I've got 4 crew members. Director of logistics is going to be Paul Grenier, my cousin.
What a beauty.
Director of psychological maintenance is going to be Claude, my dad.
I love it.
Uh,
Keep running. That's enough.
Yeah. Director of physical maintenance will be my sister. And then director of nutrition will be my mother. So
yeah,
pretty
mom
excited.
is on it, and obviously everyone's on it in that crew.
Yeah.
But that is an all-star crew. So you got a great crew. And I mean, for those who don't know kind of what crew, they're critical to this. Like I remember in Utah there, yeah, you only see them 10, 20 minutes every hour, but those are the most important minutes because it's your only human contact. And it's when you need to hear stuff, you need to eat, you need to get your shoes, your socks changed, your ice baths, your whatever. Like they're going to handle all that, right?
Yeah, for me, the plan is like I do zero thinking during the race, and I do the least amount of things. Like basically, they take care of everything for me, so that I just have to focus on running, and walking because I'm going to do lots of
So
walking.
it's not a perfect comparison, but I just now I got a reminder of that's kind of my approach to my run with Rob, cross province runs.
Yeah,
I just let my mom figure out the route and the pickup spots and the drop off and where we're going for lunch and who I'm running with and what I'm eating, and I just show up and I just run, and I love that. I love that I don't have to think about it because the mental part, I'm gonna like I had a hard time with it in Utah, thinking of what I was gonna eat, how many calories. Like it was just
well,
I didn't realize how much work it was gonna be.
Yeah, I spent a lot of time up front doing that, and I kind of gave them a bunch of direction. So I've got about 8 different planning documents that my crew have gone through. I've got my first big document is just a plan lap by lap. I've got pace. What else have I got? I got pace. I got nutrition, planned nutrition. I got additional tasks that need to be handled at the end of each loop. I've got caffeine or not. Is there a shoe change? I've got so anyways, I've got a whole plan that's that. I've got a document that they're in control of it, but it was just kind of to start. And then I got a document that has our shopping list to buy stuff so that goes seamless. Gear list. Anyways, there's quite a few. A backyard, to me, a big part of the backyard is logistics, right? So I think we've got a really good plan in place. It doesn't mean that the runner can execute, but I think it gives the runner when I see the runner, that's me, gives me the best possible chance to succeed.
It's so different than a marathon, right? We talked a lot about Boston and how in the last episode and how like I could kind of mitigate as much as I could the risks and the factors, and because you can prep for most stuff, but like you're not, like you really have no, I mean, I know you've prepped a lot and you've tried to mitigate a lot, but you don't know what'll happen the second night or even the second afternoon, or I mean, as soon as you get into uncharted territory, it's kind of like maybe you're not able to speak, maybe you're not going to be able to like vocalize what you want to eat, maybe you're going to refuse to eat, maybe you're going to, there's all these things that we don't know that are kind of crazy because we've heard these stories on the podcast, on the ultra backyard, like people go delusional, people. So it's totally different than a marathon.
Yeah.
But it also,
but at the same time, I think, so yes, there's a lot more uncontrollables, but at the same time, there's a lot more levers. It's like Settlers of Catan. Like, I mean, there's a lot of levers that you can use to increase your chances.
Or
right?
poker.
Yeah, I don't know what the right analogy is, but there's
That's a good analogy.
there's a lot of things you can do versus a marathon. You just have to be in shape. You just have to be fast, right? In here, there's a lot of things that I feel like just soaking up the knowledge that you can do. And I've never run one, so I don't have that. But I've listened to every single Backyard Ultra podcast, and I've done a lot of research, and I've thought through each potential kind of I would say dimension on what can potentially give you a better chance in the end. So I know I'm not going to think about everything, but I feel very confident that I've done what I can to give me the best possible chance in this ultra by advanced preparation, except for being a good runner.
Minor detail.
Yeah.
I will say that, like, when I think, and I've mentioned this on past podcasts, but I'll repeat it here because I think it's worth mentioning. I think you have a competitive advantage at this. Like, you actually have a competitive advantage, a couple different competitive advantages. One is kind of like me, you're willing to put the time in to prep.
Yeah.
Just prep. Like the stuff that nobody wants to think about. Like, what should the spreadsheet look like for calorie consumption and carb consumption? Well, some people might just say, I'll just throw it on a spreadsheet, but I'm sure you've figured out the way that you want to optimize an hour and trailing 12 hours. And I don't know what you've got on your spreadsheet, but I'm sure you've put some time into that. Okay, now let's talk about the shoes and the side. Like, you've spent some time on that. It's not just, I'm going to change my shoes from time to time, right? You've thought about that, and you've removed the variables. So one, you're willing to spend the time. Just spend the time is one thing. Two, you're super smart. So I trust that you've outthought a lot of people like on this. And then three is, I'm not going to talk about running because I don't think you're necessarily the strongest. You're not we have an advantage, but I mean, everyone who's there is fast and able to run.
Yeah.
So I'm not going to consider that an advantage, but I think mentally you're stronger than all those guys who are better runners than you and they quit at 30. So I think those three things are really lining up in your.
Yeah. So I kind of did just to give myself like sometimes I doubt myself, right? And so I just went through kind of those factors that are important and like rated myself in them.
Oh, like if it's an NHL video game?
Like NHL 94, like offensive awareness,
defensive awareness, shot power, accuracy,
all that. So I gave myself kind of ratings, except I only did up to 5 on kind of these attributes. And I had
you share that?
Yeah, I'm looking it up right now. So I did runner fitness, runner long-term endurance, ability to eat,
5 on 5,
crew skills, crew preparedness, race plan. So there's so many things that go into Backyard Ultra. This is the thing, right? And then race plan and strategy, mental toughness, compete level.
Yeah.
So disciplined approach, internal sense of belief, and just like my overall body robustness. So I think on a lot of these things, I scored myself really high. So for example, my ability to eat, my crew skills, crew preparedness, race plan and strategy. I think that no one's going to touch me. I mean, except for people who've done it more than me, they probably, but
they might have a, what did you call it? Race plan and preparedness?
Just race plan and strategy. So I've got a lot of different things that I'm like strategizing to optimize. So I think that I'm really high. Mental toughness, I think I'm pretty good. And then the last one that I think I'm really good, but I have to tap into my younger self, is my compete level. So it's a thing that I was a very competitive person when I was younger, and I've been like, as an adult, it's a thing that I've been, suppressing a little bit, right? So now I'm excited for this race because I'm like, just let it be what it wants to be, my true competitive nature, I think at the end will be a huge asset. So I'm like crying here. I'm so pumped.
Stick his slave up on that.
Yeah, no, I think that that is the way I am sometimes. I've been, so yeah, I'm excited for this race because I think I've got some of the attributes. I'm not that runner. I'm not that good of a runner. I'm not that, my endurance isn't super good, but yeah, it'll be super fun. Whatever happens, happens. But I think I've done what I can to prepare. So
Yeah, I'm excited to see you this excited because it's fun to be excited for races. Like
yeah,
I've been low key jealous of this. I mean, I made the choice. I made the choice to go do Boston instead of this, but I've been low key jealous of like it's epic. It's so fun. It's gonna suck some parts, just so you know.
oh, I know it's gonna be. That's the one thing I'm trying to prepare myself for is like when I get it's gonna get mentally. That's the race basically. That's what it is. Is like when you get to that point where you just don't feel like it's worth it, or you don't, or it hurts too much, or whatever, is to keep going. Because like I think you have to really, 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 really be in bad shape to not be able to complete a loop in an hour physically. Psychologically, it's a
You have to
different.
be like either broken or tired or injured. You're saying?
Yeah, but psychologically, it's a lot easier to not be able to do the loop in an hour psychologically versus physically, right? Like,
I think that people who quit, and this is going to be a generalization, and I don't want to offend anyone, but I think people who quit, they might say it's an injury, but people who quit are quitting because of psychological reasons. It's too hard to keep going.
well,
It's
yeah, and
just too
understand
hard to keep going.
at some point the how hard it is versus how badly I want it. There's these reverse relationships, or and once the how hard it is versus how much I want it is higher, then that's when you bow out, right?
Yeah, well,
So,
that's like
so my vow is to try to, if I can physically do a loop in an hour, I want to try to do it. And
have you
it's easier said than done now. Like I know that's so yeah. A couple of the strategies I have to try to combat that is like I just want to focus one loop at a time. And everyone says that, but I've got some strategies in my plan that make it so that there's certain things I have to achieve on each loop that make it so that it becomes an explicit goal that I'm doing the loop this way, or I'm trying to do a loop so that I don't look at the big, like I think where you can where you could potentially have mental hiccups is if you start looking too far ahead, or you start being satisfied with what you've done, right? Uh, so yeah, that's another thing that I'm considering. Um, yeah,
Terry Fox went across this country on one leg, 1 milepost at a time. So I think you actually have to do 1 mile at a one loop at a time. That you can't start looking ahead. Because I remember in Utah when I struggled, it's not because this loop was hard. It's because I was
yeah,
like,
it's
oh my
because
god,
you knew
I
in
got
your head you
I
weren't
got 10
stopping
more.
before.
Yeah.
Yeah,
So I can't go for 10 more loops. Like I can't do
yeah,
that.
yeah.
So you have to be in that loop. And where are you gonna think of a mantra for that or something? Like, or just be in the loop? One more loop, just this loop, only
I'm
this.
just gonna try to focus on like there's specific things in my plan. There's a pace I want to hit, right? And every loop I have a slightly different pace, which tells me, okay, that gives me a thing to focus on. I've got
And
certain
sorry,
things.
pause. Do you want to? I'm curious about the paces, or do you want to come
Yeah,
back to it?
yeah, we can
Come back to
tackle
it.
them.
Keep
Yeah,
going.
yeah.
I'll write it down.
The other thing, I've been trying to think of mantras. I think one is just to enjoy the suffering. The one guy used, I know, so that, or the other one is be grateful. Like, how lucky am I to be running? I know it's suck, like it might be, but like running rather than doing something else, like that's a thing to be grateful. And then the other part is like, if I have to tap into that competitive nature, there's a lot of things. I think it'll depend on
What would
where
one of those look like? Not that guy.
it'd be. I'm not losing to this guy, or I'm
Yeah.
not
Yeah.
something like that. Like,
Well, I've used that successfully in races, and I know that you and I, when we ran races together, would use that successfully. When we get past
yeah,
on an uphill or something, we'd be like, "What's the kiss?" Like, not that guy. That guy's not beating us. Like, we're gonna pass him later. Like,
yeah. So that those are some of the things. The other thing I thought about is just like thinking about really like realizing that it's not that it's hard because you've done a lot, and you are thinking about just having that whole knowledge of why you think it's hard, right? Um, it's not because it actually is hard, right? It is because, first of all, it's painful. It could be, but you're also thinking ahead. So trying to make sure I don't avoid those traps, right? And it's all this is way easier said than done before I've done it. So like, um, this might look silly on the after show. So
no. But listen,
I'm
we
trying to think
know.
about it, but yeah,
Yeah, we know that this is going to be hard. So like
yeah,
the best thing you could possibly do is put yourself in a position to succeed.
yeah,
And if you're not thinking about these things, well, then you have no chance. So
yeah,
yeah, maybe you'll blow up and you won't even get to the second day and it'll be super, super hard. Fine.
yeah,
But at
yeah,
least you've thought about it. And listen, one thing that we know about doing this podcast is we lay our emotions on the line and we put it out there for everyone to see. We're incredibly vulnerable. When I set goals, when you set goals, part of doing this podcast is it's going to look really stupid if we blow up, but
yeah,
screw it. Like, it's part of it and it's part of
yeah,
life. And we don't judge each other for it. In
yeah,
fact, we have the balls to do it.
yeah,
So don't worry about that. Like, good for you for thinking about it. And yeah, if you blow up and you embarrass yourself, who gives a shit? At least you went out there and at least you tried it. You
yeah.
didn't, you tried it. So anyways, I'm not worried about that. But um, I wrote a bunch of things down here. The the mantra. I just want to say this real quick. When I was having a hard time in PEI on my last one, and when I found my mantra, I think it was like I was third day or something. It kind of changed, and I would be able to go back to it. And for me, it was earn your day. Like, I felt like every day, the days were so awesome. Like, I got
Yeah.
to hang out with my family, my kids, my parents, and I got to earn my day. It was like earn your day. And yeah, some days it's tough to run 50K a day, but earn your day. And then I'd have a tough day. I go, earn your day, Rob. You're going to earn your day. And then it kind of like, so I love the idea of a mantra. So I like that you have one. You talked about varying paces. You talk about your varying paces and why you're choosing them. And if you're going to have varying mantras at the varying paces.
Yeah.
So your varying paces, what do you think they're going to be and why?
I've got every pace between 58 minutes and 40 minutes in my
Okay.
plan.
So the 58-minute ones are day loops.
So there's the general principles behind my strategy, but the general principle is one is I want to vary my lap times so that I'm using different muscles, and also I will be just to stay focused on one lap at a time. That's one principle. The other principle is day loops. The slower the loop, the easier it is on your body in general.
But
There are some caveats, or there are some reasons why not to always do slow loops, and one of them is it will uh, it will put a lot of strain on your walking muscles, which are probably not as trained. The other reason is that it gives you less time between loops, and in some loops, there's just maintenance things you have to do. um, so that's why there's a variation. So the variation is, in general, I'm trying to do a lot of slow loops during the day. I do have a few medium or fast loops. So I have some medium loops on the first day to get more food in, or more like real stocky food. I have some fast loops on the second day to try to sleep even during the day. And I got a bunch of variations of between medium and fast, depending on what I need to do. Kind of, I've got a lot of maintenance kind of tasks that I want to occur periodically, like uh, like
Ice baths for your feet, changing shoes.
Yeah, hip release, changing shoes, eating, massage, certain things, whatever. So I've got things written in my plan that need to happen on loops where
You got to
I
be
need to go a
running.
little faster so
Yeah.
that we can get those things done.
What are your fastest loops? Sorry,
The
42?
fastest loop I put in my plan is 40 minutes.
40 minutes. Faster
So
than 10-minute miles.
yeah, so I remember my fastest loop in Utah was like 56. So just like 9.5.
So to be clear, our Utah loops were a tad longer and we had more time to do them. So 56 is equivalent to like a 39-minute. Is that something like that?
Yeah, I would say it'd be around 38 and a half,
38
39.
minutes.
So I realized that because I'm going to be doing more fast loops, that is like, and I might change these if they're too hard. I really don't want to do too hard of loops. Like I'll sacrifice a minute or two of sleep.
Yeah, I think you need to
Yeah.
make sure that you're comfortable. It's kind of like going up the hills in Boston.
Yeah.
Just make sure you get up the hill.
Yeah. But I do want to have the advantage of having sleep and a sleep plan if it gets long, if it goes long, because I know, I feel like that was one of the, like I didn't even sleep in Utah, but I think it'll make a huge difference, especially if it goes long.
But again,
I'm planning on going long. So
you think you didn't sleep, but again, it's possible that you laid down for 15 minits and you actually slept. And
yeah, exactly. Like we were talking in the previous episode, like it's possible. Yeah.
So I think if if you can somehow go 5 consecutive loops with laying down 15 minutes each loop, oh my God, you're going to be a machine. Is that
but so I don't have that in my plan because I feel like 5 consecutive loops would be just too much for me.
Okay.
So I'm only doing 2 fast loops at a time.
2 break, 2 break, 2.
Yeah, like Phil Gore does 3.
Okay.
But I'm no Phil Gore. And mine are going to be slightly slower than his too. So
okay, but to be clear, you're only trying to sleep at night, obviously.
Yeah.
It is.
Except for the second day, I've got like, I've heard guys like, I've thought about this, and I think Phil Gore or someone, let's say you had like the best runner in the world, start doing backyards. I think there's a way that they could go on forever if they're in good enough shape. If the only way that could ever happen is you have to be able to be in good enough shape that you can do like get 15 minutes of sleep every loop. Because I think that is eventually what gets the best guys is the sleep, right? I'm not at that.
But even that would only be 6 hours of sleep a day, right?
Yeah. So, but there you're approaching something that's sustainable almost.
Right. But it's not permanent, but it could be quite a bit longer than 5 days.
Yeah. But you'd have to be really, really in good shape that those loops still feel super easy, right?
I think your other skill would have to be able to like sleep quick, get up, run fast, like that whole transition.
Yeah, I think I'm not bad at that. I think I'm not bad at that because I've had lots of training at night. I have to wake up to pee all the time, and I'm able to fall asleep immediately after. So we'll see. I think by the second night, I'll be so tired, I'll just fall asleep, no problem. If I can get any type of sleep on the first night, that would be a huge bonus. But I'm not. If it doesn't happen, it doesn't happen.
Okay. The night loops are starting like, I don't know what sunset, like 9 o'clock.
So the first night loop will be 9 p.m. So
9
basically 13 hours in.
So your first sleep will be like 9:45 p.m. in theory, or 9:40 p.m.
I have to check my plan. I think about there, yeah.
Yeah. So it's dark-ish, and then you'll do, ideally you can do 2, 1 break, 2, 1 break, 2, 1 break. So you get 6 chunks of 15 minutes if everything goes well.
I think there's only 8 hours of darkness. There's 10 hours of darkness there. So
well, 2, 1, 2, 1, 2.
Yeah. I think it's something like that. Yeah, I've got 6 potential, and some of them I'm doing slower because I don't want to do them all at 40.
Yeah.
Like there's going to be some 45s in there. See how that goes.
And to be clear, this is 4.2 miles or 6.6 kilometers. So those are 940, call it 10
Well,
minutes.
as soon as you're over 42, it becomes like over 10 minutes a mile. So
Yeah.
Yeah, it's not super fast.
Which is 6 and change per kilometer. 620.
It's not super fast, but at that point, it's going to be fast.
No, but listen, I can speak here because I did this. I could not run 10-minute miles at the end of our backyard in Utah. I did. Yeah. What was my last loop? Was like barely under 10-minute miles from my last loop. So barely over. So it's going to be hard to do it. And obviously, you've thought of what happens if you're not able to follow the plan.
Yeah. I mean, we'll just play it by like we're going to adjust the plan as we go. It's just a thing. So the plan exists for one reason, is so that my crew knows what to do in advance. If we don't follow the plan, I expect them to adjust it as we go, and I'll leave that in their hands. But obviously, I'm not expecting we're going to follow the plan 100%. It's just there to provide a guideline for kind of to make things flow seamlessly when things are going well. Okay. Seamlessly when things are going well. Yeah.
Okay, good. And I want to talk about,
and on that, like I trust the judgment of my crew to adjust the plan as required.
Okay, I want to ask about the crew. One question first before that. You talked about quitting. Like, I remember Phil Gore, or was it Phil Gore who said, you can quit whenever you want, but just start every loop.
Yeah.
Are you going to try to do something like that? Like just get up and go.
I mean, everyone says that, like that's a common thing in the backyard world, but I feel like the real rule is you don't just start. You commit to finishing it. Because I think it's easy to start. So let's say you have that rule. Let's say you have that rule. It's easy to start. Well, it's not that easy, but it's easier to start and then just be like, okay, I'll start, so make people happy or whatever.
Yeah.
Once you start, you're like, there's no way I'm doing it. And then kind of give up there. So I think it's to try to complete it. If I could do that, that'd be amazing. But yeah, number one rule is to start for sure.
And number two is to commit.
And commit to doing it.
Start and commit.
And I think I learned that from one of the top backyard ultra guys. That was his rule. It was like start and commit to it.
So that's a decent mantra for when you're sitting down, right? You could just have Pod or Claude or someone just repeat that if you're having a hard time. Start and commit, Charlie.
Yeah.
Start and commit if ever you're falling off. Okay, I want to talk about your crew. So their roles, obviously, you're gonna finish the loop. You're gonna know what you have to do on loop 7. It's gonna be maintenance X, Y, and Z. It's gonna be food, and it's gonna be water.
Yeah.
What are you doing for food and water? Are you doing scratch?
I'm doing scratch every loop.
Okay, a little bit. So scratch is obviously calories and carbs in your water.
Just as much as I can take, pretty much, because it's gonna be cold. So the amount of fluids that I need is going to be significantly less than if it's hot. The other part is, and then the food wise, I have a plan that it kind of worked when I practiced. So when I practiced, I tried a bunch of different things. And so I've got a plan that's based on my experience in that practice. And it's just switching over. And I did what like Gabby Vila recommended, which is like have a kind of a rotation. The other part of that is I have, depending on if it's a fast or slow loop, I have different strategies around when like what types of food and how much food.
Okay.
So,
but like you're gonna crush some Dr. Pepper and some Mountain Dew and some Pepsi and.
We do have liquid carbs on the plan as a backup. I don't have those things on my plan, but we will get some. We will have some Coke and some.
Wouldn't it be so good?
Yeah,
because I never drink pop. Like I feel like it'd be awesome to drink some pop on a backyard. Like,
yeah, we'll see. If I crave something, I'm gonna have it. Like that's the thing that's gonna be fun is like just whatever, just eat whatever.
But like. If you're craving something, but I mean, it almost has to come organically from the crew because you're not going to think, man, a cinnamon bun would be great right now. You're not going to think that, right?
Yeah.
It almost has to be.
I might, but yeah, I don't know. Yeah, but I think my crew will be good to figure that stuff out too. We do have like in Utah, I know the one loop I said, "Can I get eggs?"
I know.
And then when I got there, there was like bacon and eggs. So I think that will happen where I'll make some requests on the fly. Yeah.
Oh, this was for all of us. Oh, I thought this was for me.
Yeah. Yeah.
That's awesome. Okay, and then so the crew will be like giving
I know
you the food.
Do you have a hard stop right now, or
No,
sure?
it got moved. It got moved.
Okay, good. Okay.
Yeah. So the crew is going to like, you're gonna come into the loop, you're gonna find your chair, you're gonna finish line, you're gonna go to your chair, you're gonna sit down, you're gonna do so someone's gonna do the maintenance, and then someone's gonna give you the food, basically.
Yeah. Yeah.
You're gonna start eating and drinking, and if there's no sleep, you're just eating and drinking, and oh my God, you're going to tell them how you feel and my knee's hurting and this and that. You're going to answer the questions they have.
Yeah.
And then you're back up.
Yeah. So I do have kind of what we had talked about in Utah about a version of that with the runner assessments.
Yeah. How's the body, how's the engine?
Yeah. So every 3 loops, I think I got it in the plan. At first I said every loop, and then I'm like, it's going to be annoying to do it every loop.
Yeah. That's what I thought.
So I said every 3 loops, they're going to ask me so I have this car analogy. So how's the engine? How's the fuel tank? How's the chassis? How's the driver? So they're going to ask me those questions, and then they'll mark down the answers in a sheet and track it. That's one thing. As far as the food is concerned, yeah, they'll bring it to me. And depending if it's a slow or fast loop, I'm likely going to carry some out with me to start. Because especially if it's a slow loop, might not have time to eat it, right?
You can take it with you, right?
As long as I have it, I'll
carry the garbage with
you. Yeah.
But like, are you doing a ton of like bagels and like boring stuff, or are you trying to like find some fun stuff to eat?
I've got a very small list of items just to keep it simple, but I do have some backups in case those don't work. So my major items are these fruit bars.
Yeah.
So because they went down so well when I was doing my practice loops, I had decided that's like going to be my main carb thing, unless I'm having like real meals. I also have gels on the plan. So gels are going to be used more for the night loops.
Yeah, to supplement too if you're falling behind and you're just not feeling like eating. You need.
And it's easier to eat. Like the gels are easy to eat, so that my plan is like the faster loops have some gels.
And you have to tell yourself. Sorry to interrupt here, but you have to tell yourself it's got to go down, right? Like you have to get stuff down, like even if you're not feeling it, right?
Yeah. No, totally, absolutely.
Like you can't go 3 hours without eating, right?
Well, yeah. So I have a tracker sheet that my crew is going to track my exact carbs, calories, and protein. And it's going to be their responsibility to make sure that.
But here's what might happen. And you've probably gone over this with them because it happened to me in Utah, was they would bring my food and I was like, I can't eat this loop, guys. I'll do it next loop. And they were like, all right, he's going to eat next loop. I'm fine. And then next loop, I'm like, you know what? I'll just take a bite of this. And then next thing you know, I haven't eaten for 3 loops or whatever.
Yeah, so I have to make it clear. In my head, it was clear, but like obviously they have to force me to eat.
Yeah, and if you're not able to eat the food because your stomach is exploding or whatever, you have to do gels and scratch.
We have to figure something out. I can't go below. So my sheet has like a minimum amount.
Like a trailing.
As soon as it's not at that minimum amount, like it'll flag it as yellow, like a big flag to say. So I have to make it clear to my crew that like I might not follow exactly what you guys tell me, but it's like I expect you guys to like figure out ways to make sure I meet those minimum numbers.
Yeah, you got to do that. I would agree.
Yeah.
You got to. It's got to be. It can't. It's going to be hard for them because you're going to be like, I'm fine, okay? Like, I'm fine. Just I ate a ton. I got like, just leave me alone for this loop.
Yeah.
Then what?
Yeah.
Do they go, Charlie? Like you almost have to pre-write the script that they write to you. It's almost like a time travel thing. I'm going to come back in time and read me this message.
Well, I think because it's all written in a spreadsheet. Like,
remember, Charlie?
I'm hoping that I follow it. I need to follow it because I've committed to it. Like, so I'm hoping I don't give him that problem too much.
No,
But
and you'll be good, but just know that it's a possibility because it happened to me in Utah, and I was really prepped, and I had my spreadsheet, and just you'll be good, but just be aware that it's a possibility.
Okay.
I want to talk just mentally, just last thing, and then I want to ask you anything but like quitting. You talked about these levers. You talked that you could pull, and like it's going to get hard, and at some point you're going to say, kind of like me on that 500-kilometer day, like, I don't want this. Like, yeah, it'd be cool, but it's a lot easier to just quit. So, have you thought of, I'm sure you have, and you addressed them earlier on, and I said I'd get back to it, but like, how are you going to prevent yourself? How are you going to prevent yourself from quitting? How are you going to prevent yourself from that thought that creeps in, which is those deep, what did I call them? The munchkin. I call them the munchkin when I did my episode. It becomes this thing on your shoulder that's telling you, just quit, just quit, just quit, just quit.
So I've thought about this a lot, and kind of the number one memory that comes back to me is Utah, about maybe it was sunlight out, and it wasn't hard. Like, it wasn't super hard at that point. Like, it was there, I was feeling a bit of pain or whatever, but I had these thoughts. I'm like, what's the point? Why am I doing this? And what's the point? And I keep going back to those thoughts. And I think relative to Utah, I feel like I have more of a sense of purpose in what I'm trying to achieve here with this one. So to answer your question is I've put in a list of all the reasons I'm doing this. I've put that list and I've given it to my crew, and I need to go back to that list. I think it all comes down to motivation at some point, right? Like, if I need to know why I want to achieve this, and that's my strategy. Hopefully it works. I mean, but I do remember how freaking hard it was to like understand why I was doing it, right?
Yeah.
I think if I have that motivation and just that will to win, I think that's going to go along. I'm hoping that goes a long way for me. Just the will to win.
Yeah. And I don't think people who are listening can appreciate this enough unless you've tried this. Like, it is incredibly, incredibly hard to run for 2 days straight. Like, or maybe that's not that surprising, but like, it's way harder than it seems. Like, I thought, I'm in good shape. I've run ultras. I've done 100. Like, I've done all. I can run for a day straight. It's not that hard. Well, it was way, way harder than I thought it was going to be. We still managed to get through it, but it was just like, I don't know how much longer I could have gone. So this idea that you're going to want to quit is, well, that's the
I
risk.
100% know it's going to happen. I know it's going to happen. So that is one way of preparing myself, right? Like, it's going to be less of a surprise because I know it's like the 21st mile of a marathon. When you know it's coming and you know the thoughts it's easier to handle, I think. So that's another part that's my strategy for preparing. So all these things I'm saying without having ever experienced a lot of these, and it's just kind of hoping that I'm doing the best that I can.
You definitely are, because you've thought them through, and that's more than most, for sure.
Yeah. So on that note, like, for some reason, I feel like I've got a chance to win. Okay. I've got a good chance to win.
What does the parlay pay? What is Diego's parlay pay?
So this is the sidetrack. So I asked Claude and I asked ChatGPT. I both asked them.
Not your father, the AI.
The AI. I asked them, can you look at the BC Backyard Ultra field and give me a table that has the money line odds for all the competitors? And ChatGPT, because he knows me, or they know me, they gave me decent odds, like plus 3,000 or something. Okay.
30 to 1.
Yeah. Claude was like plus 6,500. So, like,
even odds with the rest of the field. There's only 100 runners, right?
Yeah. So the favorite was like plus 400.
Who is he? Don't tell me his name, but like, what is his background? He's done
So he's won this same event twice. So that's why, obviously, that makes sense.
I guess it makes sense since he wins every time he races this race. Maybe.
So it's like, at the same time, I know it's unreasonable, but I for some reason think it's possible. So I'm just gonna go for it.
Effing rights, man. Effing rights.
But I asked my kids and I asked my wife, and one kid's a bit more kind of realistic, and he said 61%, Dad. You have a 61% chance of winning. That's pretty good. The other kid said 100%.
That was, yeah, honestly.
Yeah. So
he's 6.
If my kids think I got a chance, I got a chance.
Yeah. Well, I'm of the view that confidence can go a long way. And I think it's helped me in my training, just have this blind confidence that I was going to do well and just to feed off of that. And I mean, if I was in this race, I would tell you that I was planning on winning, for sure. Like, so I would expect that from you too. It would have been epic, I think, if it was us two in the last two. But anyways,
that would have been so much fun. Yeah.
But like, it's, you need to think you're going to win this thing. So it needs to not be a foreign thought. You need to have, it needs to be a real possibility for you. It needs to be like an expected outcome.
Yeah. I'm going to start visualizing it.
Visualizing like my sub-3 in Boston. And like, I was like, it's happening. I'm going to do this. And even when ChatGPT doesn't believe in you, you know what I tell it now? It's fuel. Thank you for this fuel. I appreciate this.
That's how I was using Claude and ChatGPT's, their rankings.
Yeah. To kind of come, mange la marde. Like, you don't believe in me? Perfect. Nobody does. Nobody believes in me. That's what I want. You know, I'm going to go out there and I'm going to shock the world. I'm going to surprise the world. The huge world that follows the backyard circuit in Canada. But yes, you can shock the world, Charlie. Maybe that's the mantra. Shock the world. You're going to go shock the world here. You're going to go a guy who's never done these from middle of nowhere, who's never done a sub-3. You're going to go and you're going to shock the world and you're going to win this thing because you worked harder than anyone else, because of your whole life, what's happened to your whole life. You've just worked harder. You've overcome adversity and you're mentally strong. So I definitely believe you can do it. I got shivers
super excited
about it. And I'm excited for you. And it's good to see that you're excited about something, because it's not been fun to see. It's not been the last couple of races you've done, you've not been super excited. So it's good to see that you're excited. The training has gone well. So anything else you want to add here, Charlie?
There is a live stream of the race. So
really,
I think it's no volume. It's just a camera of the finish line.
Okay. Right on. Okay. Okay, good. What else do I have on my list here? Oh, speaking of gels, I didn't talk about this in Boston, but that timer trick you gave me, I didn't like it that much in Tokyo, but like, I treated it like religion. Maybe that's the wrong expression. I treated it like a must do.
Yeah.
Every 15 minutes. Didn't matter where I was. Didn't matter if the aid station was coming or going, or I just didn't care. I said, when it beeps, I'm crushing my gel.
Yeah.
And I just did it. And it was so, like, I easily ate 12 gels.
I feel like it helps you overcome the feeling of,
I don't need to.
Yeah.
It's like putting your shoes on. It's just part of the race.
Yeah, exactly.
Like, you need to do this to succeed. And at the end, I was like, well, I don't need this last couple of gels. Like, I'm cruising. I got this. But I didn't. I had my last one at 15. And then I was like,
well, how did you have it set? Every 15 or?
Yeah, 15. Yeah. Every 15 minutes. And then I ate the last one like 5 minutes after my second last one. So like, they were out of the way now and I could just run. And I knew that it'd be in me. So it's not like it matters if I take it early or late.
Well, that's probably a good idea to actually front load it once you're at the end, if you can. Yeah.
And I mean, I'm optimistic that if I'm low on caloric intake and carbs for my next race, I could do more. If that's the consensus. If my coach says that 15 would help or 14 would help,
Well, even if you just set it to 14 minutes instead, or 13 or something.
That would give me 1 extra or whatever, 2 extra, right?
Yeah.
Anyway, so you've extrapolated that to the nth degree, like this idea that you're going to time and structure everything. So
yeah, my crew is going to take care of it. I don't need any alerts or anything, but yeah.
No, but I just mean you're doing that. You're doing the 15-minute timer equivalent to my race on a much, much larger scale.
Yeah. No,
because you have to do it.
I have to. You have to eat in the backyard. Yeah.
Yeah, you have to eat in the backyard. Okay, good. Any other final words? Anything else you want to share about this epic race that's coming up?
No, I'm just really excited, and hopefully it goes well.
Yeah, I'll be following. I'll be texting mom and dad and Tanya and Paul, and I'm really excited to see how you do. You're not gonna have your phone, obviously.
Yeah, I'm gonna have my phone the whole time.
Okay.
You can phone me during the race.
Okay, I can
Might
text
not
you
answer, but if it's, I do have a couple of phone calls scheduled into my wife and kids during the thing. That's on the plan.
On some slow loops or whatever.
I was actually going to do it in between on a fast loop, but
okay,
that is a good idea. I could probably do it on the loop.
It gives you something to kind of like look forward to and pass the time and whatever. Okay, right on. Well, we are pulling for you. All of this podcast is pulling for you. Next episode is the backyard recap episode where we get to make fun of Charlie for all his failed prediction. Oh, wait, no. Prediction. Is that offside to ask you for a prediction here?
Sure.
Maybe it's not healthy for a backyard.
Do a prediction. Let's go.
You're the one predicting. You're the one racing.
Okay. I'm going to be the last man standing, and it's going to take me 55 loops.
I got to tell this story. Diego in our running group chat, he's like, "Oh, I parlayed Rob to run sub 3 and Charlie to win the backyard." And I said, "What is that paying? Plus 180? Like not even, like almost even odds for us both to win our races." And I agreed with him. I think I like the spirit. I like the attitude. 55 loops. Thank you guys for tuning in. Charlie, good luck. Don't forget to like and subscribe, guys. I asked you guys last week to do this. Those of you that didn't do it, can you please give us a 5-star review? It helps us grow the channel and the podcast. And we appreciate you guys. And remember, Charlie, this weekend, more miles.
More miles.
More miles. Just
more miles.
Just more miles.
Yeah.
Good luck.
All right.
You got this.
Thanks.